Hi folks, so part 2 if the camera allows. So this is one of Sigita's cards again, with the little mushrooms, and you see how they come out the bottom of the card. They look so cute. So I've just fussy cut the little ends there. More Arthur Rackham fairies. Oops. More inked pages. And this here is a book from a gentleman called Arthur Wainwright, who's very famous in Britain for his work in the Lake District. His map work, he mapped out many of the walks and areas in the Lake District. And of course his artwork, these beautiful line drawings. And if you can ever get hold of one of the original books, they are so lovely, because he used to handwrite the whole book, and even to the point of justifying the words and laying out again in a beautiful composition the actual words. This is a later edition where it's been typed, but those originals are really something. So I've made that into a little tuck. His writing is actually very interesting also. And I thought the Lake District would be nice to include, because I live near there, so that's where your book has come from, in a sense. Handmade paper there, and I've included this illustration of Hansel and Gretel because it's the same scene that you had in your last book, but a different artist, so I thought that was a nice comparison. I've used some of these pages where I've folded. If you fold your paper before it goes in the tea dye, makes some nice effects. An envelope there with French dictionary, and this is another one. Again, I've just added some lace, but I've left this one open so you can put some loose pictures in there. I chose Room with a View for the library card because it was, you know, artisty. A little clipping, mushroom entry in the dictionary. And I've put these two paintings together because they're very similar. This is Klimt and Kandinsky. And I love both of these paintings. They're really beautiful. And so much detail. A lot of the detail, especially in this one, has got lost, I'm afraid, with my printer. The eternal battle between me and my printer.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Okay. Sorry about that. Yes, so very beautiful. This is an early Beatrix Potter with the Bluebell Woods. I wanted to include that again because she loves bluebells. And then this is the other side of the Wainwright, and I've just made a tiny tuck there with the handmade paper from here, because I didn't want to obscure this lovely illustration. More inking. This is another Klimt, very beautiful. Now, one of the signatures, what I did was use just 3 sheets of watercolour paper, so that you can do a little bit of painting if you wanted, and 3 sheets of this gorgeous Japanese rice paper, and I've put a hand carved stamp on each one, and they're all different. So there's those, and then that's the other side of the watercolour paper. There's an Einstein quote. More handmade. This is silk paper. Oh yeah, you've seen this one. This is a little funny little envelope with a bit of lace here for the flap, and another Arthur Rackham, sorry. That's it. This paper is the botanical set that I mistakenly mentioned before, which is really very beautiful. And I'm just trying to rush a little bit so that I can get through in one lot. This is Yeah, I've just realised I said one lot, but this is already part 2, isn't it? Before I get cut off again is what I'm trying to say. This is one of my favourite raccoons as well. This absolutely perfect portrait of Alice. I just love that. It's made into a little pocket, and on this side again I've done the big end paper with Tim Holtz, and there's a pocket here. This is the gorgeous ledger that Catherine sent me. So it has these original notes and little entries here about the width and the yardage and so on. It's really gorgeous, and it dyes beautifully. I've included in here just a couple of little scraps of the Japanese paper because it is unusual to use. So just before you start painting on it, you know, you can use that to see how it behaves. In here is a little, I got this from Jenny Belly, I think she's called, who does lovely art tutorials, and this is just a little travel palette that you can make with your heaviest watercolour paper, and you just scribble with watercolour pencils.